When I enlisted in the Marine Corps originally, I was going around repeating neocon Bush era conservative talking points
Mhm.
saying, the message from our troops is to let us win as long as it takes. And I remember sitting in a college course and there was a Marine Corps combat veteran there. And he said, actually, brother, that's not the message from the troops. And I remember kind of sitting with it. My sister ended up serving in Iraq. She in combat. She came home. I was at a Memorial Day celebration with her. And at that Memorial Day celebration, at the time I was living in LA. I was doing the Screen Actors Guild thing, writing stage plays and whatnot. And I was rocked to my core
Mm.
because I was seeing people who were going on 2 and 3 combat deployments while I was saying things like, let them win. And then there I was with an able body and an able mind. And so I enlisted, I think about 6 months later, I shipped off to boot camp, joined the Marine Corps Infantry, became a machine gunner. And I saw on the front lines that my talking points were not correct, that I ended
Mm.
up shooting at human beings that I ultimately had more in common with than the derelicts and cowards and hypocrites who sent me there to go shoot at them in the first place. And so
Mm.
ultimately I became very anti-war.
Yeah.
And I read books by General Smedley Butler, War is a Racket. I read New Confessions of an Economic Hitman by John Perkins. I
Mhm.
realized we need to get out of everyone's business. We need to tend to our own business, because what has been practicing abroad, the conquering of people abroad, the taking of their resources, is what is happening to us right here at home. We are a conquered people. We are a divided people. We are
Mm.
peasants in the 4th largest economy in the world. We don't own anything. We don't own our homes. We don't own the land that they sit on. We no longer own our businesses. We don't own Main Street. We're overtaxed and overburdened. And so government's role should be much closer to home. We cheer on things like Doge, which is very exciting. And then we
Mhm.
have a $1 trillion defense budget. We have a Department of Defense
Mhm.
that failed its 7th consecutive audit, unable to account for 62% of $3.5 trillion throughout the globe in weapons, assets, and capital. That's our money. And what ends up happening is our dollar is devalued, our home is destabilized, and the rest of the world is destabilized. And they end up coming here to avoid America's foreign policy because we are a destabilizing force throughout the world, not a stabilizing force at this time, unfortunately. And not historically, but right now. And that's heartbreaking. And so when you look at this, something needs to change, because our role should be building the kingdom of heaven here at hand. Our role should be governance here in California, not the destruction of our neighbors.